it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, you know, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great. Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical Russ Belville.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome back. It's Toker Talk Radio, where you are the voice of the marijuana nation. So glad to have you here for the next hour. We got all sorts of great stuff in this hour. If you're watching on the web screen, you can tell we got Karey Lee's shirtless body floating across the screen. And I had to update my comment because it's not just for the ladies, it's for the gentlemen as well. I want to be open and accepting of all variations of human diversity, so... Anyway, got a special tribute for our good friend, Lively Libra.
What, Bart? It's 6 a.m. That's right. Hope you like your present. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Lisa, it's your birthday. God bless you this day. You gave me the gift of a little sister, and I'm proud of you today. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. I wish you love and goodwill. I wish you praise and joy.
I wish you better than your heart desires.
And your first kiss from a boy. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
There we go. Happy birthday,
this
Lisa.
This is the best present I ever got. Thank you, Bart.
Happy birthday, Lisa. Showing some pictures as well from the Boston Freedom Rally. That's our Lively Libra, a.k.a. Lisa, on the left-hand side there of Cheryl Schumann in the red Lively Libra shirt and sweatshirt. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mr. Libra. Happy anniversary to the both of you. Cool enough that you both have the same birthday and then both decide to get married on that day. That's pretty cool. I'm digging that. So happy birthday to you. Appreciate all your support here at 420radio.org. Coming up later on the show, in fact, after this first break, we've got, oh my God, a stupid stoner story. Got to do it. Stupid prohibition story. I'm sorry. We renamed those, didn't we? Stupid prohibition story. And then more music from Karey Lee. We've got 3 tracks from his, actually 4 tracks from his new album that we're going to play as we go to break. So enough of me yakking, because the more I yak, the less music we get. We're going to take a break, pay some of the bills. Make sure you check out our sponsors, because if it weren't for them and it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here doing this job. So please check out lushledlighting.com. ncc420.com, text Russ to 420-420, and all that. And if you know someone else who wants to support 420 Radio, get their music on the air, an interview, a news story, a company, please contact us, 420radio.org/contact. We'll be right back with music from Karey Lee. The tune is called Freedom, and we'll play it in its entirety. You're listening to Toker Talk Radio on 420radio.org.
The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at RadicalRuss.com.
Hey, Tokers and Tokettes, Radical Russ here to introduce you to my friend Matt and all the staff at Lush LED Lighting. Growing plants indoors can be a rewarding hobby, but electricity bills can go through the roof. Then you have to cool down all those big hot lights. It can drive a grower insane. With Lush LED Lighting, you can solve many of these issues and double your rewards. If you thought LEDs were meet the tech of today, Matt and his scientists have developed the perfect light for flowering plants with far less cost and heat. And the results? Let's just say I appear at a lot of events with the masters of indoor horticulture, and the harvests I saw from Lush LED Lighting were big, tight, sticky, and very effective. Check out LushLEDlighting.com right now and tell them Radical Russ sent you. Double your rewards and lower your expenses with Lush LED Lighting. I'm Radical Russ Belville, and I want to thank you for listening to 420 Radio. We couldn't survive without you and our sponsors, and I'd like you to check out one of our prime sponsors, the National Cannabis Coalition. I've been working with NCC since June of 2012, and I'm proud to be part of the team they have assembled. National Cannabis Coalition is building the partnerships with reformers, lawmakers, and industry we need to be successful. Visit the National Cannabis Coalition website at nationalcannabiscoalition.com or the easier-to-remember ncc420.com. That's where you'll get the exclusive first look at my radical rants, as well as informative articles from the nation's top cannabis pundits. Visit ncc420.com today, and if you have your phone handy, text Russ to 420-420 to support NCC and 420 Radio. It's a free text message that helps us help you end adult marijuana prohibition. Learn more at ncc420.com, and thanks for supporting independent marijuana legalization public radio.
More music from Karey Lee at KareyLee.com. This is Freedom.
My freedom, well, it leaves me today. These last few months went warp speed, I must say. If you were smart, you'd leave me and walk away. Oh, babe. So now I sit here and I pray. It really makes our future seem so gray. Just tell me that you'll wait for me someday. Oh, babe. Well, you got your freedom and a heart that is filled for me, and I will not let them take it away. Well, you say we don't need it. Well, that's easy for them to say. Well, hold me tight, don't let them put me away. Freedom, babe. So here I sit alone along this way. I never made that deal with the DEA. They said if I told I'd be free and walk away. I lost my freedom, babe. Well, you got your freedom and a heart that is filled for me, and I will not let them take it away. Well, you say we don't need it. Well, that's easy for them to say. Well, hold me tight, don't let them put me away. Freedom, babe. Well, you got your freedom and a heart that is filled for me, and I will not let them take it away. Well, you say we don't need it. Well, that's easy for them to say. Well, hold me tight, don't let them put me away. Freedom, babe.
Stupid Prohibition Stories. As a public service, the Russ Belville Show reminds you that smoking marijuana does not make one stupid. However, some stupid people do smoke marijuana, and Prohibition is always waiting for another victim. Learn your lesson from today's Stupid Prohibition Stories.
With your Stupid Prohibition Stories, I'm old-timey 1920s radio reporter Freddie Farrakh. Florida man arrested for weed on his shirt. From hightimes.com. 37-year-old Jason Sprout was pulled over on Sunday in what was been deemed the speed trap capital of America, Waldo, Florida, for, you guessed it, speeding. What should have resulted in an expensive ticket for a minor traffic infraction took a turn for the worse when the officer noticed something resembling marijuana clinging to the Sprout's shirt. Instead of brushing the weed off his clothing, Sprout decided to not only tell the officer what the green substance was, but also that he had been smoking it and had more in the van. A search of the vehicle reportedly turned up several bags of marijuana, a scale, and nearly $200 in cash. Sprout was busted and charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, and utilizing a motor vehicle for the purposes of distributing drugs. He is currently being held on $17,500 bail. I'm Freddie Farrakh with your Stupid Prohibition Stories! Damn. You know, you talk to a guy like Karey Lee, who's basically the situation. I'm going to go to his website, and you should go there too, KareyLee.com. This is the part. Here's the part that'll just break your heart. And let me get the funny music to stop, because that's not quite appropriate. All right, so from KareyLee.com, this is the report that was done by Jackie Winchester in the Fort Myers New Press. This was July 7th, 2013, and she writes, it was July 19th, 2007. Karey Lee was happy. He had just turned 31 and was engaged to the girl of his dreams. He was running the popular Martini's Rock Club in downtown Cape Coral. He was preparing to write new songs and get serious about his first love, music. Then came the phone call from an ex-girlfriend. A call that changed his life and put everything on hold. She was hysterical. Something about agents from the Drug Enforcement Agency. Lots of questions. I'm in trouble, he thought. He drove to meet her at a Publix parking lot. That's a grocery store, not a public parking lot, but a Publix. It's a grocery store in Florida. He drove to meet her at a Publix parking lot near Plantation Road in South Fort Myers. They sat in her car, but it wasn't to talk about what might have been, or even to catch up like old friends. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She was terrified, visibly shaking. She handed him a piece of paper. She would testify against him in court, it read. Karey Lee was sick to his stomach. Quote, there isn't a feeling like it in the world. It's like being told you have a certain amount of time to live. From there, it seemed to spiral out of control. She started asking him questions that he felt were none of her business. Each question got a vague answer, but it was enough. Quote, you need to tell them you don't know anything. You can't say I did anything wrong. You don't know that I laundered money. What he didn't know at the time was that she was wearing a wire, a pawn in the Drug Enforcement Agency's game to nab their suspect. They got their guy, and because of his exchange with her, were able to add witness tampering to a long list of offenses, 16 counts in all. Karey Lee was no longer selling at this point. Those days were long behind him, he said. The federal indictment states that he committed the crimes from August 2002 through January 2006. So there you go. He's now inmate number 34411-018 in the Federal Correctional Institution in Yazoo City, Mississippi. So, because of the truth in sentencing laws, the federal truth in sentencing laws, it means that he has to serve nearly all the time to which he's sentenced, and there's no parole. So 13 of the 16 counts he faced were dropped. He took a plea deal on the remaining charges, which were conspiracy to sell marijuana, witness tampering, and money laundering. He got sentenced for nearly 13 years. It got reduced down to 10, as you heard earlier, 10 to life. But there he is. So he's been on the Billboard charts, number 4 in the Southeast up-and-coming artists charts. He hit number 4 there, and the album is doing quite well. Let me give you the link here in the chat room if you're watching. If you want to go to CD Baby to buy the album, it's right there, cdbaby.com/CD/Karey Lee 1, digit 1, Kareylee 1, and that'll get you to him on CD Baby if you want to buy the album. And I agree, this guy needs to be made a star, man. He needs to be able to get out, go on tour, and, you know, already have legions of fans wanting to see him. And from what I've heard so far on these 2 songs we've played, I'm a fan. This guy's a good songwriter. He's got good musical construction. He's got a definite talent there. And attractive guy to boot. So no reason this guy couldn't do incredibly well. And how about his friend Sarah? Just finding him on Facebook, somebody you knew since 6th grade. Just, it's a story that kind of hits me in a personal way, and I'll tell you why later, but a female friend of his from 6th grade hits him up on Facebook, gets in touch with him, and helps him to get his album out, get the word out, put up a website for the guy. What an amazing tale. And so we will play more of Karey Lee's music here coming up. After our 20 after break, the next tune that we will hear is called God. We will check that out. And then after that, in the next segment, I'm going to tell you a little bit about student drug testing. Got some study results that were published in the USA Today about the drug testing of high school students, drug testing of college students, and so forth, that I think we definitely need to get to. Also want to remind you that the presentation that I did yesterday at the Better People Forum is available at my YouTube channel, youtube.com/RadicalRuss. It's right there in the front. You can watch that or embed it or share it with whoever you want. As well as, if you'd like to download the actual presentation, it's available right now on on the 420radio.org/shop. And it's $1.99 because, you know, I need to make some money. I'll be honest about it. It's all I got. All I got is my words and my analysis. So I got to make some money off them. So if you can kick down $1.99, it's on sale for the rest of this week, and then it's going to go up to $4.20. So get that downloaded as quickly as you can. So, so please check that out. And also wanted to talk later on in the hour about Proposition AA, which is the tax measure in Denver, in Colorado. It's a tax measure in Colorado that has marijuana opponents, marijuana proponents divvying up on sides, both for and against this tax measure. We're going to take a look at it and how it compares to taxes on other things like alcohol and cigarettes. And what would be the price of weed if you were going to visit Denver? If you were going to fly into Denver and this tax passed, how much would an eighth of weed cost for you? Because, you know, as a tourist, you'll only be able to buy a quarter, right? So maybe you buy an eighth, maybe you buy a quarter. What would that cost for you? We're going to find out when we come back later on in the show. We've got that segment coming up for you. Also, want to encourage you all to check out alternate.org. I've gotten a new writing gig at Alternate. Well, it's not a new one, but it's a revival of an old writing gig. So I got some new articles up on alternate.org as well as hightimes.com, nationalcannabiscoalition.com, theweedblog.com, and where else? Maybe Salon from time to time. So all of those links, if you're wanting to find all my articles, you can find them through links on the footer at radicalruss.com. Also, I'm posting them a week after their published date on radicalruss.com as well. So one-stop shopping for all of my writing. Hope you'll check it out. Hope you'll support what we're doing here at 420radio.org and the Russ Belville Show. Oh my goodness, it's 4:20 on a Friday. It's one of my favorite times ever. I hope you've got a good harvest of one of your finest herbal remedies. If not, we're fighting to make it possible for you to have some.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina. Then you know you're talking to that reefer man.
Prohibition! The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. Please do not give up your precious liberties. There's nothing wrong with standing up for our constitutional rights, and in fact, it's the only way to honor the Constitution that recognizes our natural rights. Treat law enforcement with respect and respect the Constitution by standing up for your rights. If you are detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, "I respectfully invoke all my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak to my attorney, Omar Figueroa." Omar Figueroa has more than a decade of experience in federal and California courts and graduated from Yale University, Stanford Law School, and Trial Lawyers College. Please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215 or on the web at www.omarfigueroa.com.
Let him bring in the beat.
Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio, The Russ Belville Show, Ganja John, and Cascadia Concentrates, among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Adam's meticulous designs are individually crafted and screened in vibrant high-definition color. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org.
Let him bring in the beat.
The Russ Belville Show brings you the best in daily Toker tunes every weekday. Each day features a different genre, including Roots Monday,
Folks, here's a story about Minnie the Moocher,
Electric Tuesday, Irie Wednesday,
Summer ganja planter, call me the ganja planter.
Groovin' Thursday,
Do you wanna get high?
and Rockin' Friday. Then on weekends, we mix them all together in our weekend music party.
More music now from Karey Lee. This is God. this. This is music from Karey Lee. Check them out at KareyLee.com. And, you know, when we were watching the video, the Behind These Walls video, or These Walls Around Me, I think it was called, I kind of mentioned that, you know, throw a steel guitar behind this guy, and he's going to sell 1 million albums on the country charts. But I'm hearing some of these songs, these last couple tracks we played, and I'm starting to hear, you know, he mentioned he opened for Creed and toured with Creed and some of these other bands. I'm starting to hear some of that, you know, 90s rock kind of feel to it. I'm really liking this music, Karey Lee. Thank you for giving us the copy of the album here on 420 Radio. We'll be putting this in our daily Toker Tunes library, and I had dropped it in Roots Monday. And I'm thinking now I got to move it. Got to move it to Rockin' Friday because it's a much more rock kind of stuff going on there. KareyLee.com for the information. Let me find that album, make sure we move that over because I'll forget. Also want to let you know the phone lines are open here at 420 Radio here for Toker Talk Radio. This is when you become the voice of the Marijuana Nation. And so I'll put the number up there, 971-533-7111. And we're going to talk a little bit about drug testing here in this segment. And if you know my story, that's kind of why I'm here, is drug testing. Had an IT job and that I'd been doing for a couple of years. And then to keep that job, had to do a drug test that I subsequently failed. If you want to read that whole story, it's up on RadicalRuss.com, by the way. Anyway, that drug testing brought me here, and it's something that I like to concentrate on this show. And I asked this at the Boston Freedom Rally, and I tend to ask this at a lot of events where I'm presenting, and I usually turn to the audience and ask, how many of you have ever had to take a drug test for work, right? And, you know, lots of people, you know, raise their hand. And then, you know, like, how many people of you have ever gone to work high? And maybe one or two jokers will raise their hand, but usually I don't get much, right? And I always just bring this up because it's like we all, you know, in this society have kind of submitted to this drug testing because you have to, you know. But really, the whole way that drug testing in this society is supported on a legal basis has to do with it being voluntary. A lot of people, you know, if you think about it, if you're really thinking about this whole drug testing regime, think it's the law. Well, I got to take the drug test, you know, I got to go to work. They have drug-free workplaces. Well, first of all, folks, the Drug-Free Workplace Act, nowhere in it does it mandate drug testing. It allows for drug testing. It says companies can drug test. But what the Drug-Free Workplace Act says is that you have to have a drug-free workplace. Doesn't tell you how to achieve it. It says basically you have to educate the employees on the dangers of drugs. You have to offer, employee assistance programs, and there's all sorts of things that's in the Drug-Free Workplace Act. Piss testing ain't in there. Now, a lot of these employers are strong-armed into it by their insurance companies, by their contracts with the federal government, etc. But a lot of this has to do with voluntary acceding to these laws, us voluntarily choosing to take these drug tests. Now, I know you're saying, but Russ, just get off your high horse here for a second, buddy. It's not like much of a choice when your choice is work and feed your family or not. Not much of a choice. Let's go to the phone lines here. 610 area code. You're on the air.
Hi, Russ. How are you?
I'm doing good. Who's on the line?
My name's Howard.
Howard, welcome back. Howard, how you doing?
Thank you, sir. I'm enjoying your show a lot lately.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, I really miss seeing you in Boston for that Freedom Rally, and I'm definitely making plans that next year I'm definitely not going to miss it.
Yeah,
I think like so many great activists were there, and I'm really a big fan of Mark Emery, and I heard Jody was there too.
Jody was fantastic.
I really just like the chance to hear her speak and maybe shake her hand one day.
Oh, yeah,
among a lot of other people.
You absolutely would have, man. That's the thing I tell people who are involved in this. Are like, I support legalization. I don't know what to do. Well, number one thing is register and vote. But the number two thing you can do is just show up. Just be at these events, be at these rallies, be at these marches, be at these protests. Just be the feet in the street.
I hear you. I live in Philadelphia, and they've been having these smokeouts with Philly Normal. And I really want to get involved, but there's been like a lot of drama in the past, like several with police making arrests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hesitant because if I really can't get arrested, if I spent like even a week in jail, it would really mess my life up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are living from like paycheck to paycheck and such. So, you know, we don't have the resources to be locked up. And you know, if I don't work, I don't make money. That's the thing. So I would have to be very wary.
Well, you can set, you can choose what level of involvement you want to, you know, be in. You can show up there to support what they're doing, and then when the cops show up, say, "All right, I'm that's as much as I can do," and nobody will feel badly about that.
I would have to be very wary.
Oh, are you listening to me on the phone or on the computer?
Yeah. No, I don't have it on. Is it a problem?
Oh, no, I might have an echo going there. That's all. It's okay. It's okay, Howard.
I turned it off. So.
I wish you had been there at the Freedom Rally though, because the gentleman you're talking about who put together that smoke down prohibition in Philadelphia, N.A. Poe and Chris Goldstein.
Yeah, he's facing federal charges now.
They were both there. You could have.
I want to meet those guys.
Yeah, they were both there talking about it, and I did an interview with them. If you go to my Radical Russ page on YouTube and search for Chris Goldstein and N.A. Poe, you probably find it. It's just it was right there at the Freedom Rally, so. You can
I did see some because I've been getting back into your show listening for the past like 2 weeks, and that's what's driven me to, you know, call in now and then get on the chat and just say that I'm liking what you guys are doing. I want to become get more involved as a fan and
well, thank you, man.
Stuff like that. But
just check out 420radio.org.
I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Oh,
you mentioned urinalysis testing, right?
Yes.
I won't work a job. I won't work a job where I will have to subject to that. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps, and I got an honorable discharge, but I did smoke during my time in, and it was very stressful. Like, if you get caught, you can get in, trouble and stuff. So I definitely tried to avoid it, but it was scary. Like, they would piss test you after you got back, like, from a 3-day leave because they knew you were at home, and they knew the likelihood was that you were going to probably smoke, or, that's what they were hoping, if they, be obvious to them to catch the people who were using on the leaves. But, I mean, there were several times when I had to take, like, so much Golden Seal or niacin to try to, beat the piss test or the urinalysis. And, I mean, it was just no fun. But luckily I did manage to do that. But my advice when I talk to people who want to go in the military, and if I can't talk them out of it, I say don't use any drugs while you're in there. Just be good, because it's not worth it. You really can get in a lot of trouble.
Oh yeah,
for that. But so I just wanted to comment about that, because I admire, like, I don't live in a state with safe access, so I admire how people who are willing to speak up about the benefit of a helpful plant, but also that are able to, like, they can have jobs that can support themselves where they don't have to worry about pissing in a bottle. And I think you dealt with that at one time in your life, Russ, didn't you? Like, you decided that you were going to.
Yeah, I made the same decision as you.
You were like a businessman for a long time, right?
I wasn't going to take or keep any job that required drug testing, because basically you're beginning a relationship by saying you're guilty until proven innocent. I think you're a druggy criminal until you prove me otherwise. And that's a lousy way to start a relationship.
And the consequence was that I think I've heard you say in the past that you took a pay cut, right? So you were convicted and seeing that what that wasn't right for you, and you made a decision.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool too.
Well,
so
for me
it was
it was in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a huge sum of money, but to my perspective, it was about double what I'd ever made in my life in a year that was being offered to me. So from my perspective, it was like all of that security and risk of, how am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to get groceries? How am I ever going to pay my debts? That would have been wiped away if I'd had that job. Now, of course, you get more money, you probably get more debts too. Who knows what would have turned out? But yeah, certainly a massive pay cut here at 420 Radio. But you know what? The pay sucks, but the fringe benefits kick ass.
That must be nice. But you hang out with a lot of good people, and I can only imagine the very cool organic things you get to taste as part of
yeah.
your job. And
it's a lot of fun, let me
and
tell you.
Music and everything, man. So I really like your podcast. You're doing good media. It's good for the it's good for the cause. It's good to show people that cannabis is a helpful plant. And the best thing is that when anybody wants to say people who use cannabis are lazy or they're thieves or they're bad, I mean, look at the activists who have been speaking out for years, like you and Jody Emery and Mark. I mean, King of Pod. You know, there's so many others. I shouldn't even start naming names because I'm going to forget somebody that I really like. But it's about liberty, it's about freedom, and it's about people making a personal choice for something that helps them. And it's all helping. And I'm just glad you let me call, and I hope I made some sense. But it was good talking to you.
All right. Well, thank you, Howard. It's nice talking to you. Thank you so much. And tell more people in Philadelphia out there about the show, about the network. We'll be glad to get more East Coast listeners, because I think that's a big part of what 420 Radio is all about, is connecting us. East Coast, West Coast, the South, the Midwest, Canada, Mexico, the entire Western Hemisphere, Europe. I mean, this is a global issue, and we got to have global conversations about it. So thanks for calling in. We got another caller on the line. We will go to break here. Going to play a Karey Lee tune. If you want to hold and listen, or just call right back. But in the next break, we'll get to our next caller. Stick around.
We'll be right back after these messages from our 420 friendly sponsors. Support these advertisers, because their ad money goes straight to the Russ Belville Show. You're tuned into the Russ Belville Show, the voice of the marijuana nation.
You know Herb Thrasher from the Herb Thrasher Flower Hour. Now get ready for Herb Age Designs for the proud cannabis consumer. Herb Age Designs, lifestyle gear for the 420 friendly. Herb Age Designs, home of the famous lighter leash. Herb Age Designs, get your Herb Age t-shirts and hoodies and show your pride. Herb Age Designs, we've got frisbee golf discs and durable hemp gear. Herb Age Designs, we've got shot glasses, drinking glasses, coffee mugs, and beer cozies. Check us out on Facebook and online at herbagedesigns.com. And follow Herb Age and Herb Thrasher on Twitter. We'll see you at this year's Hemp Fest. Crank it up.
On the road again.
Hi, this is Willie Nelson. Friends, it's time we legalize the responsible use of marijuana and stop treating marijuana smokers like criminals. We're destroying the lives and careers of hundreds of thousands of good, hard-working Americans every year in this country for no good reason. There's absolutely nothing wrong with smoking pot. For more information on how you can help legalize marijuana, please contact NORML at NORML.org.
Welcome back, everybody. Toker Talk Radio here on the air, and we're going to play some more music from Karey Lee. This is off of his album that he's recorded while he was in prison, or not while he was in prison, but got released while he was in prison. And I just have to find it here because I made a move that I shouldn't have made, and there we go. Okay, so here it is, Karey Lee with Big Mouth Bitch.
I heard a nasty little rumor about you, and I stepped on a few issues about you too. I don't think I like you much. I've never heard of such. Standing in the doorway of your own pride, you said you never go down. What a great lie. You said that it was sick, as you saw every bit of it. Call me up when you're feeling so lonely. You are a you'd feel. This is how you'd feel. This is how you'd feel. This is how you'd feel. Big mouth bitch, why you always talking about voodoo? Big mouth bitch, why you always talking like you do? Big mouth bitch, why you always talking about voodoo? Big mouth bitch, why you always talking like you do? Big mouth.
That's Karey Lee with Big Mouth Bitch. I think we have a hit on our hands. Welcome back. It's Toker Talk Radio, where you are the voice of the Marijuana Nation, and our latest voice comes to us from the 602 area code. You're on the air. What's happening, my man?
Yo, what up, Russ?
Good to talk to you. Who's on the air?
It's Electric Bob.
Oh, Electric Bob is back, our Electric Tuesday music editor. How is the music search going, by the way?
It's good. I have so much music. I have like 40,000 songs on my computer. I could literally play music all day on the station.
Hey, maybe one of these days we'll give you a Tuesday electric show. You could do an hour.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I've been thinking about it. I just don't have any equipment or anything, and I don't know how to DJ yet, but I've been wanting to learn.
Well, if it's a pre-recorded show, all you really need is a laptop and free software called Audacity.
I have Audacity. I use FL Studio. I make music in that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Actually, what?
I say, man, we'll have to talk about that sometime.
Yeah, we will. I just wanted to talk about piss testing.
Okay.
There's a place called Concentra here, and I've heard of people that they'll go by that fake piss and just put it in their pocket and just walk in and spray it, and that's that.
Really?
It's so easy to get past it.
Well, it has to be. Otherwise, the workforce would be much harder to fill jobs. Already there's some employers that have stopped doing it because they can't find enough people that'll pass the test.
Yeah, it's a money pit for them. And here in Arizona, it's not that many people really do it.
Good.
Yeah.
You know what? My theory is that a lot of what the whole drug testing thing is about, especially with respect to marijuana, isn't not whether or not you smoke marijuana, it's whether or not you can stop smoking marijuana. That's what they want to know. It's like, can you stop smoking it long enough to pass the test, or are you at least smart enough to figure out how to beat it?
Yeah, exactly. And those drinks don't work. I've heard of, because I got fired from a job where I thought the drink was going to work, and I worked there for about a week, and I was a good employee, and they're like, yeah, your piss test came back dirty, we're going to have to fire you.
Yeah. I'm
like, I've never showed up late. I'm doing my job. What the hell? Like,
right.
I'm not showing up stoned to work.
Right. And
I'm just doing it on my off time.
It's just
and
sad,
it's not like other drugs where you wake up and you're still on them, or you have a hangover.
Right. Well, it's just a judgment, man. It's just a moralistic judgment of we said no, and when you get into this, I study what's called neurolinguistics, and there's a bunch of people on the left. George Lakoff writes about this stuff, and on the right, Frank Luntz writes about this stuff. But basically, what you find out is that people kind of break down into two worldviews, and this is very general here. I'm just very generalizing.
Yeah, this is just like
one of them. One of the worldviews is what they call the strict father view, and the other views they call the nurturing parent view. And that kind of explains conservative and liberal. Like, conservatives tend to be strict father and liberals tend to be nurturing parent. There's a mix on both sides of a little of each, but really that's where it kind of breaks down. And strict father people are like, you got to do that because I said so. And it's not so much that what it is he told you not to do was such a bad thing to do. It's the fact that you didn't obey. And that's what I think a lot of this drug testing stuff is.
It's like the principle of the fact.
Yeah,
and it's not even the action.
We told you not to smoke pot. You went and smoked pot anyway. Therefore, we must fire you. Well, did my smoking pot cause any harms or mess up the job or anything? No, that doesn't matter. We told you not to smoke pot, and you didn't.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And like I said, here in Arizona, it's hit and miss with jobs.
Yeah.
About drug testing, because most of it, they don't even care. The only places that do are like Walmart and places you don't even want to work at.
And that's the other thing that's insidious about this, is because when you look at the stats, you see, if you are a white girl working as a barista in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, you're not going to get popped if you go smoke a joint on your break. But if you're a black girl working somewhere in Harlem and you step on, in the back alley to smoke a joint, it's going to rain fire on you. A lot of this has to do with class. It, of course, has to do with race. And you see it when the drug testing comes up. When you look at the companies that drug test, it's always your low-level, entry-level, service-level, working-class jobs. They don't drug test when you want to get your architecture job. They don't drug test when you want to be, working as the CEO of the bank. They don't get drug tested. No, it's always the working class.
Even the people that are stamping packages at UPS get drug tested.
Exactly.
Ridiculous. You're nothing at your. What are you going to do? Fall over? What are you going to do? Stamp a package wrong?
And the irony is about 20% of the packages they're stamping have drugs in them.
Exactly.
We gotta piss test this guy so he can stamp all the weed packages that are coming through. That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
But it's not doing anything other than it's making a lot of drug testing.
Other than making UA companies a bunch of money.
That's right. And that's when you get to, you see in these guys like Robert L. DuPont and Peter Benzinger. They run Benzinger DuPont Associates, which is this company.
Is that the same DuPont from the DuPont family?
Bingo. And also the same DuPont who was I think he was the DEA head for a while, or was he a drug czar? I can't remember. One or the other, but he
was one of those. I've read about it. Yeah, there's no there's nothing conflicting about that.
No, yeah, not at all. And then you find, so Benzinger DuPont and Associates often lobbying, supporting like the Project Sams and lobbying for more drug testing and drug courts. And then you find like in Florida where Governor Rick Scott down there in Florida pushed for the
own company.
Yeah, he pushed for the drug testing for the poor that were on welfare. Turns out his wife has this drug testing company stock. What do you know?
Yeah, who would have ever thunk? No, it's just a coincidence.
Just a coinky dink, man.
Yeah, we didn't know.
And I'm sad too because I know there's so many people who are in a financial strait where they do not get the choice to say whether or not they're going to drug test. And that's where I wish our laws were a little more stringent because, you look at the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable search and seizure, government has to have a warrant, yada, yada, yada. And because of the Fourth Amendment, that's why a lot of government employees don't have to drug test. It's unconstitutional. That's why public school students who are just going to school, not in extracurriculars or anything, can't be drug tested because it's unconstitutional. But I think when the founders are writing the Constitution, it's the 1700s, right? They don't conceive of big economy and corporate culture the way it exists now, where if you don't have a job, you're fucked, right? Because in the 1700s, if you didn't have a blacksmith job or whatever the fuck they did back then, you go out to the land and you buy some land and get a farm or whatever the hell, right? It's a different world now.
Do it on your own, and now if you try to do that, the government's going to come in. Oh, you have to have your pigs like this. You have to have your chickens like this. You can't have this. You can't have that.
That's true too.
You have to pay this money to have this on your land, and then the EPA comes in. Oh, this area is protected. Now you have to move.
Right. And in addition to all that, it's like when you're crafting the Fourth Amendment, you're trying to protect people's liberties. The only entity with the power and scope to have been searching you would have been the king, would have been the government, right? The idea that going to work for the blacksmith and the blacksmith then would have required you to pee in a cup, there's no way they could have foreseen that. There's no way they could have seen a world where corporations and business and economy has such a controlling influence in our lives. I think the idea of the Fourth Amendment was to keep our privacy safe from the authorities, and now the authorities are
the corporations.
The corporations.
Yeah, it's a corporatocracy we live in.
There we go. Plutocracy, corporatocracy, fascism is what it used to be called. All right, I got to take a break because we've got some more Karey Lee to play before we end the show. But I appreciate you calling in, Electric Bob. And again, remind me again later, and we'll think about putting together a Tuesday night, electric dance night or something. That'll be fun.
Cool. I'll talk to you on Skype. And like I say every day, don't break the bong, kids.
Won't break the bong. Thanks, man. All right, going to take a break here with another tune. We're going to go right to it. This tune coming up by Karey Lee, A Million Miles Away is the album, and this is called Chains. Enjoy.
So you've lost all your faith, swimming through the chains of love, and I won't feel the same. When distance relates to us all, and hey, I feel a little bit wild and shallow. And hey, I feel the distance wanna make you swallow. Hey, you, when distance relates to us all, and hey, you, I'm not one if she falls. Hey, you, when distance relates, never mind the chains, forget the chains of love. And you say, you bring it on. Well, I got a lot to bring, and I got Valentine's word. My face would sing, oh, I would sing. And I'd feel a little bit brave, and I'd be borrowed. And I'd feel the distance wanna make you swallow. Hey.
Wow. Talk about taking lemons and making lemonade. That's Karey Lee with Chains off his album Million Miles Away. Check out KareyLee.com to get that, to learn more about his story. Very interesting talking to him in hour one. If you missed the interview with Karey Lee, stay tuned. In just an hour, it will be back with our replays at 6 p.m. Pacific and Toker Talk Radio at 7 p.m. where we play more Karey Lee music. Jody Emery's next at 5 p.m. Pacific time here at the Russ Belville Show and Toker Talk Radio and 420radio.org. What the hell am I saying? It's Friday, everyone. Oh, it affects the best of us. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Herb Thrasher will be in. We got 2 hours of metal and rock and alt country for you live here from Roll the J Studios. For everyone here involved at 420radio.org, thanks for supporting us. Check out the website. Become a VIP member by clicking donate. And until next time, take care of each other, Tokers.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
You take a seed, you plant it, you grow it, you dry it, you